Good afternoon everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Ollie and we'll be running through the shortages process in Prima. If you've got any questions or feedback during or after the session, Steve Dennis will be on the live chat today, so he's there available to speak with. Okay, so depending on your starting point with the shortages procedure, some customers may know doing the picking the night before, they know straight away what the sales order is that needs to amend, or going through from the receipt section is basically where your shortages are going to start. So some customers may start from the sales order linking through to the relevant areas, or you can start from the receipts area. So basically just a breakdown of what we're going to be running through for the processes. So confirming the receipt note, so confirming from your suppliers what you've received into stock. If it was the shortage procedure, you would be effectively treating the item as though you have received it. Reason being, you can then raise return and credit, then to make these match with the electronic copies that are coming through from your supplier. You're then amending the dispatch note, so for your customer, taking it off the dispatch note and then being able to deallocate it from their sales order, and then going through the next stages of amending the batch for return and credit. And then doing the reorder with your supplier and contacting them to arrange the credit and stuff as well. Okay, so first of all on the key points, so if we go through confirming the receipt notes first of all, so if we go into either from your dashboard, you can go to the outstanding receipt notes, or you can go via movements and receipts. So this is the area you go to confirm supplier delivery. So if I just search for the outstanding receipt notes here, so if we say for example just pretend these are for today, we're then going to be confirming these receipt notes. So if there was any back orders, you need to make any changes to the receipt, you can go into there, make the changes. But for the shortages procedure, you are acting as though you're treating the system as though you've received those into stock. So we'll complete these. So hit complete and then complete the selected receipts. And that's then telling us successfully confirmed. Okay, so that's the receipt side done, and then what you need to do now is go to the dispatch notes and basically amend the dispatch notes that have got the shortage on there. So as an example, into movements and dispatch, and if I run a search, okay, so looking at this one here, if I just go into this customer for example, and it could be the case this top item here is a shortage. What you can do, double click the item and you can either overtype the quantity, so if you wanted to zero it off, or hit the delete icon to change that. So as an example, if I hit delete on this, are you sure? Yes. And then from there then you've removed it from your customer's delivery note. So what you can do now is using the links tab is basically link through to the sales order to make the changes. So basically now what we've done so far, we've confirmed we've received the goods from the supplier, we've then removed it from the customer's dispatch note, and now what we need to do is the stock that we received in from the supplier, deallocate it from that sales order so then it's in our general stock to be amended. Okay, so going through to the sales order, so using the links tab is the quickest way to kind of navigate through the system. So from here now, if I just pull that over, it's gone onto the other screen. So from here you can hit the deallocate option. So deallocate that, yeah, okay. And that then effectively then is putting it back into requested status, because this item is then to be reordered from your supplier. So if you went into POP requirements at this stage, you could do the reordering, but we'll come on to that shortly. So basically what we want to do now, so we've removed it from the dispatch note and also deallocated the stock that we told the system we received in. So what we need to do now is via the links go into the product info, or you can go via stock and stock products. The quickest way going through the product info. So bringing you then into the product record, and then basically to change the batch, you want to go to balances, and then that's gone onto the other screen again. Let me just bring that over, and then from here then you go to batch records, and from here then you want to select the batch it's relating to. So I think that was on receipt note. Which receipt note did I change before? Sorry, let me just check that. So if you just use the links again just to check the receipt note. So sometimes you will have just the one batch. So use the links from the sales order instead. And Can't remember the receipt note. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Could it be that one? Let's have a look. So it must have been that bottom receipt note there. So sorry, this one here. So receipt note number. So you can see there now it's saying general stock. So the way I found that out basically is you've got your date there for the creation date, but what you've also got is if I highlight that batch there, you can see that one's currently on a picking or dispatch note. So I can't actually change that one because that's still on a dispatch note. Whereas this one here, I've deleted it from the dispatch note and it's now general stock. So what we can do then is highlight the batch. And then from here then mark the warehouse to be either damaged stock or goods returned, so it doesn't matter which one, and then we save and close that. So what we've done effectively there is tell the system that this item is for return with your supplier. So a quick way to do it, if I just copy that product and I'll close out these areas just to keep it tidy, and then if we go to movement still and supplier returns, okay, and then we go to available lines, so what's available to be returned to the supplier, and I think that was a VOW item, wasn't it? Let's have a look. So search for VOW, and it's the top one. If I just paste that product code in, hit search, and then you've got the options then for the return. So I can't remember which one it was on this test system. Could have been either one of those, but basically you'll have just the one if there's one example in your system. But with this test database, if I just do that one, create the notes. Okay, that then generates your supply return. So at this point now, what you can do on your return, you can put on any notes or reference, shortage reference, or any notes to say shortage with supplier, just then in your system you've got a reference of kind of what's going on with this one, and then also you can keep the option ticked for credit required from your supplier. So hitting complete on that, then you're then expecting a credit from the supplier, and you've also at this point now basically completed effectively the shortage process for that item. So in terms of reordering the item, so now we've effectively completed the return to the supplier. What we can do, if we just close out these, we can go to POP and requirements, and what was the sales order number? It was 4206, was it? So search for that one, and you can see the item there, back of 5, quantity 1 requested, ready to be purchased again with your supplier. So effectively what we've gone through there in the session today is referring back to the key talking points. So we've confirmed the receipt notes from your supplier, so we're treating the items as though we have received it even though it's a shortage. We're then amending the dispatch note for your customer, so basically telling the system this isn't being delivered to the customer. We've then deallocated the stock from the sales order, so telling the system the stock for what we've got at the moment isn't on that sales order, amending that batch so that it's returned for the supplier, asking or requiring a credit on the return, and then reordering from this as you would do normally from the requirement section to purchase the item with your supplier again. So I'm sure there'll probably be a phone call or something with your supplier to say send a credit or whatever, but basically what you're doing on this stage here now is send it through electronically again, so when the invoice and the credit comes through electronically from like VOW, Spices, etc., it would then match in the system, and there's no manual intervention at that stage then from an invoicing or crediting point of view. Okay, that's everything for today's webinar. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask myself or Steve on the live chat after the session. But yeah, thank you for your time today. I hope you all have a great weekend. See you next week.